Welcome to the Enlightrepreneurs Podcast. This is Justin Minott. I'm here with my business partner, Dave Gold, and we have Mike Doyle of Drive 80 here with us. He came to us as a member of the HQ Raleigh community. This is the first episode of our feature called HQ Corner, where we're featuring the heart-centered, like-hearted entrepreneurs from Raleigh HQ. So we're really excited to have you here, Mike.
Thank you.
So Mike told me that the best way to explain his business is that he can explain anyone else's business, right? This is kind of it, right? So with graphics, with video, these 60-second explainer videos, packaging complex ideas into very palatable boxes. How about that? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, good. Then we'll roll with that. And he does a million other things, which we'll get to in the course of this podcast. But first, Mike,
I just want to add that we had so much fun. You know, it's 10 after. We're 10 minutes late because we had so much damn fun, the three of us together, that we really didn't want to push record button. So anyway, he's one of us.
That's true.
Wonderful human.
We're Bethels.
So Mike, what's your story? Like, go from you started at 17 when we talked before. Go from 17 till now.
I feel like I always tell the story a lot. So just do the timeline. 17, I was in a punk band. I decided that I wanted to do that instead of going to college. Did 2 semesters of college, flunked out. We decided we want to go on tour. Did that on and off for 2.5 years. Then the band fell apart. And I moved to California just to get away from New Jersey. I was living in Jersey at the time.
So was it a dramatic fall apart? Like, was it like Beyonce's leaving Destiny's Child? Or like, how did it feel? Was it a breakup?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I have this podcast called This Was the Scene, and it talks about that whole time. And I've done like 90 episodes, and in that, I've actually called myself out so many times of being such a dick in the band and how shitty we were as a band. Not just as like we didn't have a good focus, but yeah, it was a train wreck for like probably the last part of it. So
yeah,
totally.
Sorry, that's hard.
Yeah. So when that fell apart, it was weird because my focus was I wanted to do that for the rest of my life. And here I am at 22 when that happened, or 21. So then I moved to California, waited tables. A buddy of mine, like I said, he had a shirt, it just said down. And I was like, that's really cool. What is that? He said, oh, I made it. I was like, what do you mean you made it? He's like, oh, I designed, I bands like Linkin Park buy this. This is like 2002, 2001. It's like, holy crap, I want to make money doing that. So bought a computer, bought a gateway for $1,300 on a credit card that I just got. Tried to teach myself, learned it was really confusing, learned about there was a technical school in Jersey. So I moved back to Jersey, took that for about 10 months or almost a year. And then I just started freelancing, or started working as an art director, found out about freelance. A guy came in, and I was like, what's freelance? He said, oh, I can make 65 to 150 an hour. I said, I want to do that. So then I started doing that in 2006. I've been doing that ever since.
So what about entrepreneurship resonates for you? Like, why do you want to be in business for yourself?
Well, it was like the books where they're like, what's your why? My why, I never want to work for anybody again. And
yeah.
There's dips where it's been a struggle, and I will just find my way to stay afloat because I just cannot have a boss.
Right. It's visceral for you at this point. I've heard that entrepreneurs, they consider us the craziest people on the planet because we would literally rather work 90 hours a week for ourselves than 30 for someone else. Like if we had to choose between those. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even in the short run that I had for about a year and a half, I had a couple bosses and I was like, you guys don't know what you're doing. But I mean, this is me at 24, 25 saying this. And now when I started a business, I was like, oh, that makes more sense because you're wearing every single hat. Instead of just like the one where I was just in this little bubble. But yeah, I mean, I'm great. I love clients. I love working with clients. I'm also like, I like to be in a level. I don't like to have someone be like, I'm here and you're there. So it doesn't work for me.
So you, when we asked you before how you would describe what you do and that you're able to like see people and tell their stories, capture it in a short period of time, what is it about you that gives you that? I said you have a superpower. Tell us about the superpower that enables you to do that.
What was it? How'd you say it? I'm just being myself, basically. Yeah. I'm putting myself into it. And I just see it.
You can't help being you.
I can't help it. Yeah. I can't help. Like I have a hard time not being myself and incorporating that into my business. So even when I'm doing a sales call, I try to make it as casual as possible because like, we both know what this is. You need this. I'm looking for money. But like, let's find it where like we like each other and we can talk like this. Like, I don't go to a meeting. I'm like, hello, like, thank you for the call. I'm like, what's up, man? How's your day? Like, what's going on? What's crazy out there?
Yeah.
And now it's even more crazy. But yeah, I like to embed that. And I just think I can't not talk like the way that I talk. And I think including that in my business is my like value prop. Granted, I don't know how to give someone else value. I think it builds more trust with us and them believe me. But I also bring I'm good at what I do. So I'm not loose about everything. When I show up, I'm like, all right, we gotta get shit done. Yeah. Even like right now, before we got on, I was like cramming to get a storyboard and I just sent it to a client because I was like, I gotta get the deadline.
Wow.
But the fact that you're good at what you do gives you the confidence to just be yourself.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
and it sounds like you take your work very seriously and you just don't take yourself very seriously. And I think that differentiator is really refreshing for people working with authentic humans.
Oh yeah. I think it's stupid that people take themselves seriously. Like we're here for like a hot minute and everyone, I don't know, I can go all into it, but I just think that
go ahead.
I think people just take shit too seriously. And there's moments where, like things are serious. Like now it's serious, but there's also should be like a kind of like, just chill out. It's like, this is just life being life. Like it does this. This isn't new. This isn't something that everyone's like, this has never happened before. It's like, sure it has. Shit like this happens for like all the time. So I think I just think that people need to just, if they're more relaxed and chill about things, I think it'd be a lot better.
Well, I think the other thing, and we noticed at the beginning, is that there's just, when you're that way, then there's more opportunity for the joy of connection to come out.
Totally.
And that's what happens. This is spontaneous. Well, where if you're really stuck in that space of how terrible things are, you're just not receptive to the fact that, wow, it's really fun to meet people.
Yeah. Like I used to do a lot of networking when I was in Jersey. So I'd walk into a room. It was the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. There's 200 people there every third Friday. And I'd walk in and it was me with like, I dressed casual business, or I don't know what it was. But everyone's in
Did you still have your mohawk from the punk days, or what?
Oh man, I never had a mohawk. I am thinking of shaving my head though, because this is getting a little crazy in this whole like can't do it. I might do it for a cause. I might shave my head for a cause too.
There you go.
But I walk into a room and there'd be like everyone in a suit. It's like I want to just get to know people. So I do coffees all the time, and we'd sit down and be like, oh, what's up? I was like, let's talk about business. Like, how's your day? How's your family? What excites you? What's like the thing you'd rather be doing? If you weren't doing this, what would you rather be doing? And they're like, oh, I'd rather be doing this. So I was like, heck yeah.
Good job.
I just like, I think I love talking to people. I can spend all day talking to people. And that's why like when Lauren said about this, I was like, absolutely. Because I think that there's a connection piece that's missing, and everyone's trying to do something too hard, especially if it's business related. They're trying to, like we said, like, why can't people be on LinkedIn? And it's like, they don't have a voice. They don't know. They're like, how do I want other people to perceive me? It's like, well, you're asking the wrong question. You're like, how can I have fun with this? I have a blast with LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn so much. It's like my favorite thing. I'll be like 2:30 in the afternoon. And I'll be like, crap, I didn't post anything on LinkedIn. I'll be like, there we go. And I'll just throw it up there. And everyone's like, do you plan things out? Do you have a schedule? I was like,
right,
no.
A calendar of posts.
Yeah. I was like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to say. Like, sure, I'd probably be more structured, but if it's underlying, make it business related somehow, and then add your voice to it.
What I love about your story showing up in New Jersey and you showing up as you, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So you actually, the feedback loop when you're not being yourself is that you end up working with a lot of people that you don't actually like and that you don't even want to work with. But when you are yourself like you are, like I imagine that most of your clients are people that genuinely resonate with you, like that you actually enjoy getting on the phone with. Has that been your experience? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's funny. Recently I have a new client. They're great. And their marketing director, we worked on another project together. And we'll talk about the project, but then we'll just go on a rant about just like fun personal stuff. Or she'll tell me about like how Verizon was being a pain in the ass the other day. And she told me this whole story and I'm like laughing my ass off. And a couple of years ago, I had another marketing director I was working with, and we would get on the phone and we were excited. And she was like, can I just vent? I was like, you can absolutely vent. And she was like, oh my God. And she would just go off about stuff. And then we were just laughing. And that's the conversation where it's great, where I'm not sitting there going, I don't know what to say. Like, sure, there is a professionalism that is there where I want to keep that balance. That always has to be there. Mm-hmm. But where it's like the balance is, it's like casual, human, and then like business is here, but it's still in the equation, but it's not taking over the equation. Then you're not like two robots trying to just like.
Well, you're relationally driven.
Yeah.
In your business.
Totally. Absolutely.
Mike, and how does that play out well? We talked about this a little bit. How does this play out well in this moment? The fact that you are so relationship driven and the challenges that others are facing that you're finding such success in right now.
Like, why is right now been busy for me during everyone being locked in?
Why are you the right man for this moment?
Why do you have to ask me these hard questions, man?
Why are you asking a question to a question?
Every time you ask me a question, I'm always like,
I used to be a trial tour. I thought it was a batting practice fastball.
Yeah.
I think because the fact that authenticity is such a. Let me rephrase the question. Cancel and clear.
Yeah.
You're authentic, and that your authenticity is contagious. And Justin and I got right into your field, right away. Mm-hmm. So why is your authenticity so important in this moment of Corona? How's that for a better question?
I think that everyone, I think people are looking for ease right now. Mm-hmm. And
great answer.
I'm trying to put that out there as much as possible. Like, sure, I fall into it where I get in a conversation with someone. I'm like, oh, did you hear this shit? It'll be like July or like August or like 2025. We'll see sports again. Like, I'll fall into that crap. It's like you get into a room with people and you're trying to have a conversation. Someone's like, oh, did you see this show on Netflix? And then everyone's like, oh, did you see this show? And it's like, we didn't even talk about the first show and we're 10 shows ahead. We're not even connecting right now. Mm-hmm. So like, I'll fall into that crap, but then I try to take it back and just try to just be lighthearted and joking. And it's like, even if I can give someone, like with like I said, at the comic I do, if I can give someone 10 seconds of laughing and just breaking from this, like,
so how have you responded to this moment right now? Like, what are the types of things and ways that you've pivoted to actually be present in Raleigh and be present in people's lives and add value to people?
Two things. One, once it happened, I went on Facebook and I said, hey, I don't know how to help right now. All I can do is like teach you guys. Cause I saw it as when I was a server, like my story, I was lost. I didn't want to wait tables anymore. I wanted to find something. I wanted something new. And that's where I learned design. So I was like, every service industry person lost their job. So it was, hey, I'll teach whatever you want to learn. I'll do a Facebook Live. I'll do a YouTube Live. I'll show my screen and like, I'll teach you Photoshop. I'll teach you After Effects. I'll teach you how to do a podcast. I'll teach you how to design these programs. Just let me know. And people were like responding. The only issue is that Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube are a real pain in the ass and trying to share your screen live. Yeah. It's all I want to do. And it's impossible. And the second thing is that every Sunday I always go grocery shopping. Even now, like I have to get out of my house. And there's a place, I've been telling everyone about this. It's a little cubby. It's on Newbern and East. And it's just drop off food. So I saw it and it was just like white beans. I was like, who the hell wants to just eat fucking beans? Sorry, beans all day.
No, you do. You're great. And
I was like,
just a question of how long it took.
It will be like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
But I saw it as, what is the smallest thing I can do? I can't give millions of dollars. I can't give tens of thousands. I can't get thousands. But where I'm balancing this with is, I saw it as I need to do something. So even if it's $5, so if I like Brew Coffee, they had a GoFundMe for their service. So I put like $20 to that. And then I saw someone else do something local. So it's like, I'm trying to focus local, but this little cubby, I was like, let me just do fun things. So I got like fun cereal, like mac and cheese, peanut butter, like things that people would like be like, oh, I want that. And so I'm like, I know I need that.
Fruit roll-up.
But it's like depressing. Or like Pringles and things like that. And it just felt so good. So I'd show up there, I'll drop like 20 or $30 and I'll drop it off and then I'd be on my way. And I see like, the people in there, they'll come up and they'll grab some things. And this one woman, I was doing it the first time, the woman was just like, is that peanut butter? I was like, yeah. She's just like so excited. And it was just like that small, like a thing of peanut butter made someone excited, you know? And then everyone's like, I have to do this grandiose thing. It's like, do the smallest thing and make it local.
Mike, one of the things I really love about you that is coming out right now in both of those stories, in how you pivoted your business and your grocery shopping story, is you don't get hung up on like the bigness of the project or the bigness of this moment. You literally look at what's in your hand and look at what you can do, not what's like, okay, I can't give it.
Totally.
You don't even focus on that. You're like, how can I add the most joy with this $5 that I have? Peanut butter. How can I like serve the world using the gift that I have? It's like, oh, I'll teach people how to Photoshop. And I want to make this point for people that are listening to this. You might not think that your gift or what you do can serve the moment. Like really look for, I mean, just be like Mike. This is so beautiful. Whatever it is that you do, there is a way that you can use exactly what's in your hand to make a difference in moments like this. And, you know, and just in life in general, I think that's your positioning. That's kind of your true north, is you're always looking to use what you have to make it. So I just want to applaud that. What would you say for people that are maybe feeling like they're a little overwhelmed by this moment?
Actually, real quick, Dave, I did see you raise your hand before.
Oh, sorry.
I did. Yeah, that's good.
The Dave Gold finger. I missed it. Thanks, Mike.
Like, hold on.
But we're going to come back because there's two questions I want to make sure you answer before we're done. One, what he asked, and also just because we talk so generally, so people really get a good grasp of what you do, and they can come give you money to do it. So make sure
Absolutely.
Don't let us get off without that. But I'm throwing a curve to everybody here because we eat our own cooking about spontaneity. We didn't mention this before, and I don't even know if Justin and I recalled it up until this moment. But one of the things we promised HQ is that we were going to spend 5 minutes solving your biggest problem. Now, Justin, because he thinks I ask the hard questions, I'm going to put this over to you. Then you be on the spot, so I'm not the bad cop all the time.
Okay, well, so then my question is, what is one of your biggest challenges in your business right now? And let's brainstorm it together. Keep it 100.
Oh, man. Organization.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm having a hard. It's hard to say. I don't want to say this because it's like I've had a lot of emails come in. I've had a lot of inquiries for projects, and I'm like, yes, and I'll like stack it on my calendar. This is like a myth for me right now.
Yeah.
So I'll like have a day stacked of projects. Which again, this sounds really awful to say for people out there who don't have any work.
No, this is a real problem for your business.
We feel your pain. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really just like really organization. I was telling that to someone yesterday, and like I have a whiteboard on my chair right now, and it has projects coming up and ones I need to do today. So I'll write on a piece of paper, like right now I need to do this. I'm having a hard time like not stressing out about getting these deadlines, because in my mind, I think that because everyone tells you they want it yesterday, and I have a hard time not trying to get it to them yesterday. So I don't really know how to
start off and do the 30-second. Here's what I heard. So one is, you're like us. You like to say you see opportunity everywhere. You're a yes guy.
Yeah.
You know, no is like it's just not part of your being. So
you want to help people.
You want to help people.
So
you got the yes. You got the yes. It's just saying yes, and then you got the business guy that said, I'm going to turn money away. But I think more it's just the nature of you can't help be who you are. So now you got to deal with the reality of your yeses and the fact that you're just so spontaneous too. I mean, you are so one of your superpowers is you respond in the moment and surprise even yourself, right? So now what we got to do is we got to figure out how you're going to take that and adjust it or be malleable to be able to bring some best business, some organizational practice in it. Is that a pretty good description of where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a crap project, I'll say no. But I'm the majority of the time like, yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what you said.
Okay, so Justin, now I framed.
Okay, so one thought train that is worth exploring, and we're just going to brainstorm this and explore a few different ways. Is
getting paper.
It may be that you're asking the wrong question. So you're approaching this problem and you're saying, okay, how do I get all these projects done? How do I get more organized? How? It may be that you need a different one, which is maybe who is going to help me with this?
Yeah.
Right. And so instead of asking the how does Mike Doyle get more organized, because one of the things too is like the Albert Einstein quote, if you ask a fish to climb a tree, it's going to spend its whole life thinking it's dumb, right? Like you're asking, you might be.
Einstein said that.
I don't know. That's who's attributed. Who do you think?
I think you mixed a few metaphors in there. But
okay, so far that is who I think is. If you ask a fish to climb a tree, something like that. Anyway, it's in there, and I'm attributing it to Einstein. If he doesn't claim it, I'm claiming it. So
this is the Fight Club part of the podcast, by the way.
So part of it might be your nature. How about leopards don't change their spots overnight?
Mike.
Sorry. So part of it might be your nature, that like maybe you being organized is not what you're paid to do on this planet. And so you need to outsource the organization piece to help you actually line up these projects. The other piece of the who to explore this is you're great at training people. I'm hearing this and teaching people. Can you teach people to get like a 90% grade on these types of projects so that you can actually start offloading them to like managing a team of creatives where you are still the point person focusing on relationships which is what you love, is what I'm hearing. You're the relationship guy, and you can hand off the project, still be quality control on the back end and make sure that it's done right. But that might increase your capacity. And then you have the opportunity to have a Padawan under you, and you can be the Jedi Master. So again, neither of those are necessarily prescriptive, but I think the question of who instead of how might be more helpful in this. That's suggestion number one. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, it's finding that balance where the projects that come in, I do have a struggle. I actually just reached out to someone yesterday who's a designer locally and trying to find, okay, like how can I take the pieces of this and then give it to the people I trust and make sure that the margin's there, where I'm not giving my whole budget to them. Obviously I wouldn't do that, but yeah, that's a struggle. It really is. It's that, I totally agree with it. It's finding the talent, and then it's finding the proper budget to get that to happen.
And I'm going to turn
go ahead.
Just turn the jewel just a tad. And that is that when I opened up a law practice, this could show my age in 1977 in West Virginia. And of all the things I didn't know how to do, like practice law was one of them, get clients was another, not get run out of town. What freaked me out most was when I got letters from West Virginia, unemployment and workers' compensation. And I thought, to keep from going to jail, I got to get a partner. Yeah. I knew myself well enough to know, just like you can't help be who you are, it doesn't mean you don't want to develop skill sets around the edges. I just know that's not who I am.
Right.
And so I think there's just a way of okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm not.
Yeah.
And start looking at that instead of trying to, we grow we grow towards the sunlight.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to grow towards the dark by becoming a man, something that could fill out woman forms. That's not me.
Which I think is really common in business, is like we focus on, okay, I need to develop my weaknesses or strengthen my weaknesses instead of doubling down on my strengths and being like, no, this is like, I want to be proficient. I don't want to be a total whatever at that, but really doubling down on your strengths. And then just the one more point to the idea of maybe outsourcing some of the projects, this could also allow you to focus on the projects that you're really stoked on. And you can be the higher ticket guy, where you're like, okay, hey, if you want to work with Mike Doyle, right? Speaking of yourself in the third person, these are the projects. Like, no, I only say yes for me working on projects to the ones that I'm really aligned with and I'm really stoked on, and the people that I really love. And that might come at a little bit of a premium, and that would actually build in the margin into your business to where you can hand off these projects, still maybe take a 20% cut off the top, but the artist that's providing that can really eat, and you're still busy on your own projects.
I have an idea.
Yes.
It's dangerous. I'm going to put two fingers up because this is twice as good as any ideas I've had up to now. So we're just making, Mike, you're our first person on the
HQ corner.
I mean, you're a tough act to follow. I feel sorry for everyone who comes. I know they'll be great. I think that we should come back. I think we should come back in who knows when time and do a follow-up and just see how we'll work through this problem, whatever this looks like, and actually come back and say, okay, here's what the other side looks like. You down with that?
Totally, man.
Sweet. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I've done that before. I guess just over the years, it's when you're in a specific industry and certain pricing goes down and down and down, because with the price tag you had before wasn't was kind of like, oh, especially moving from New Jersey down here. I think New Jersey's insanely expensive. But I think it is. Yeah, it's really two things I got out of that. One, keep really looking for those right freelancers too, who can animate, who can design. I do have a good copywriter in town. She's been great, and so it's just really finding. I think it more so is like start with a design. Like go back to when I did before, do that, and also like make a list of the things I'm bad at.
Mm-hmm.
Just like have that in front of me.
Upload as many of those as possible.
Yeah.
Because again, like if the who isn't you bringing on a designer right away, it might be you bringing on like an administrator right away who is so good at like keeping Mike Doyle in line, and saying like, okay, nope, we're stacked up on projects, Mike. Like somebody who can really manage the system and talk to the clients and say, hey, I know you wanted this yesterday, but literally Mike is so slammed that like this would be June if you want to work with Mike on this, and they can kind of be the bad cop because that's actually what they love doing. There are people in the world, and I've met them, who love this organizing things.
God, they exist.
Love spreadsheets. Love, like they just like, oh, hey, I'll give them something, and they'd be like, oh, I just made a spreadsheet about it so that we could see. I'm like, oh my.
See, that gives me a good. See, I'm a fan of. Sometimes you got to work with the budget you have if it's low, and I do like consulting. So, or I like paying consultants. So last week I had someone who's really good at QuickBooks. Mm-hmm. I was like, I need to learn more of this, and I said, here's an hour. I paid her for an hour time, and she showed me that. So maybe even bring in someone who's a project manager first and saying, show me here's my scenario. It's light. Show me how you would make a spreadsheet, or show me what tool you'd use.
So and how you would manage this project. Yep.
We're running way over, which isn't a complaint, but I have to, as a former lawyer, I have to get the last word or close to the last.
Oh yeah, he does.
And I noted something here that's so critical and such a great transmission for all our entrepreneurs. When we started getting into this stuff, energy got heavy. Did you know? I watched your body language. Everything changed. Okay. So, I mean, it's just so important. This isn't yours to do. That's all. Ours to do is to keep in our superpowers, stay excited, stay vibrant, stay connected. And when you realize, if I get in this space and this is who I become, I'm giving my power away.
That's a great point, man. Yeah, I even noticed that. I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it just deflates your balloon.
So thank you.
But pay attention to that visceral reaction as an entrepreneur for the ones listening. And it doesn't mean that you never do things that you don't want to do, because there are some things that you just don't love, and you got to, but it really should be the smallest portion of your day.
Yeah.
Right. So
if you're going to be successful.
All right. So usually Justin's a grown up, but I'm going to be the grown up here and keep a little bit eye on time.
Yeah.
So tell us what your business is and how, focus it down on what it is people can hire you to do.
So the business is drive80.com, drive80.com. It's the elevator pitch is I can explain what we do in 60 seconds or less. And the main projects are explainer videos. I also do logo animations. I do logo animations with services, which are kind of like bumpers in and out of videos. You start with it or end with it. Lately, I've been doing animated. So animation's the theme, right? Mm-hmm. Graphics and make them. And lately, I've been doing stickers for realtors who use Instagram stories a lot. So so it's like GIFs or GIFs, however people say it. I say GIF. And when you do an Instagram story, take a photo or take a video, and you can look for things to add to those videos, and they delete after 24 hours. Realtors use that a lot to sell homes. So I started packaging, and you can get 5 custom ones. And then I'll show you how to upload them to get found on Snapchat and Instagram. And those have been doing really well.
That's really cool. I didn't even know that you could make custom ones. I thought I was stuck with what Instagram had.
I didn't know either until I had a realtor hire me last year. She's like, can you do this? I was like, I don't know. And I did it. So I've been working with them. Even with my comic, I did it with my comic. So I just brand the heck out of it, or the hell out of it.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah.
On Instagram.
To start self-censoring. I mean, that train pulled out of station.
No, I upped it. I said heck. And I was like,
yeah, he was like, what?
What am I doing? This is silly.
So this has been, I got to say, this HQ Corner is really, thanks for helping us launch this thing in a rocket ship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and big shout out to
HQ.
Yeah,
big shout out to HQ.
They're amazing.
They are one of my favorite places in Raleigh. They've been nothing but supportive and helpful, and I can't give them enough props. They're
and
great.
again, and Justin, if other HQ people want to get in our world, what's the best way to get in the dog?
Yeah, I would say reach out to Lauren. We really are focusing on the like-hearted or the, purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And so if you think that's you and you're about something a lot bigger than just making profits and you want to make the world a better place, reach out to Lauren and then she'll connect us. That way we got at least one filter process over there. So.
And if they're outside of the HQ world and they want to get on this, what do they do?
Oh, the Enlightrepreneurs.com, or follow me at Justin Minott on Instagram, last name Minott, and you'll find all the content on there. So,
what a great way to start the day. All right.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. You've been wonderful.
Thank you.
All right.